I now want to shift to this next topic right here. Let's talk about Cam Newton, who was let go by the Carolina Panthers last year, and many people did not expect Cam Newton to land with the Patriots. He was a late free agent signing this past offseason, and the New England Patriots had a very, very disappointing season. They went 7-9 on the year. They missed the playoffs. Everyone, points out that under a microscope because Tom Brady left New England, and now Tom Brady is playing in his 10th Super Bowl without Bill Belichick. Meanwhile, Bill Belichick without Tom Brady missed the playoffs for the first time in forever. Now, a lot of Patriots fans, I think, are being a little too unfair to Cam Newton. A lot of Patriots fans are saying that the Patriots should just get rid of Cam Newton and let him go and just live to find another quarterback. Now, the Patriots do have the 15th overall pick, so I could see a situation where they maybe trade up for a quarterback, or maybe a guy like Mac Jones out of Alabama falls to them. I'm not the biggest Mac Jones fan, but I think that he could become a functional starting quarterback one day. We'll see, though. Anytime you're being coached by Bill Belichick, you have a chance to be great, but we'll see what he does in the New England offense. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is, okay, here's the thing. I would not move on from Cam Newton if I'm the New England Patriots, and I'll tell you why. The reason why I say that is because even if you move on from Cam Newton, in my opinion at least, no matter who the quarterback is in New England, with the current supporting cast that the Patriots have on offense, especially at the wide receiver and tight end position, the quarterback that they bring in is not going to have a ton of success. It's just not going to happen. Now, if you somehow, some way can land Aaron Rodgers, maybe Deshaun Watson, if Russell Wilson magically ends up with the Patriots, or somehow, some way you could have gotten your hands on Patrick Mahomes, a top 5 to top 7 quarterback, if you could acquire one of those guys, then yeah, I could see the Patriots, saying, goodbye, Cam Newton. We need to go get a top 5 to top 7 quarterback. So in essence, if the Patriots couldn't go out there and get Deshaun Watson, go get Deshaun Watson, Bill Belichick. But I don't think Bill Belichick is willing to take on that big-time contract. Bill Belichick always, likes to kind of, pay for his guys on the cheap. He will overpay for a Darrelle Revis or Randy Moss or Rob Gronkowski, or maybe if Tom Brady, wanted to, maybe not take a discount, I'm pretty sure he would spend extra money to keep Tom Brady in New England in his prime. But here's the thing. Say you bring in a rookie quarterback to the Patriots offense next year, like, let's just say Justin Fields or Mac Jones. Are you sure in that complex system they're going to pick things up right away? Not to mention, they have one of the worst wide receiver and tight end cores at their disposal. I'm sorry, people, but anytime the New England Patriots' best wide receiver is Damiere Byrd or Julian Edelman, I'm sorry, I can't fear the New England Patriots wide receiver core, and I actually like Julian Edelman. And Julian Edelman, a long time ago, I'd say roughly about 3 or 4 years ago, he could have been a potential number 1 option on some NFL teams. But now, if I look at Julian Edelman and I look at this version of himself, a guy that's declining and getting older as I speak today, Julian Edelman should not be your number 1 option at wide receiver. Damiere Byrd, N'Keal Harry, they have potential, but these guys are not dynamic players. Damiere Byrd actually had a pretty good year, but when you're Cam Newton, and you're throwing to Jacoby Myers and N'Keal Harry, who has talent, but to this point, he's been a first-round bust. Well, maybe not bust, but a first-round disappointment. The bottom line is the Patriots wide receiver core and their tight end core scares nobody. The Patriots drafted 2 tight ends in the 2020 NFL Draft. Both of them so far are trending towards being busts. And keep in mind, this past year, Cam Newton had no preseason games, a weird offseason. He was in his first year in a whole new system with no dynamic weapons. He had no chance, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is, until you fix the supporting cast around Cam Newton or the quarterback you're going to acquire, then you don't need to be thinking about moving on from Cam Newton. Because no matter what quarterback you plug in, that quarterback is going to struggle. And people are going to point to Cam Newton's numbers and say, oh, Cam Newton was awful this past year. He threw 8 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. But they also failed to realize that Cam Newton had 12 rushing touchdowns this past year. People, rushing touchdowns count as well. So don't just look at box scores. Actually go back and watch some Patriots games. And you tell me if the Patriots offense is an explosive offense. You tell me if those wide receivers scare you. You tell me where the Patriots are super dynamic on offense. You tell me if the Patriots can match up with Kansas City, Buffalo, even Miami. Miami to me is a much better football team today than New England. I don't see it. So that's how I feel about the Patriots. I don't think they should move on from Cam Newton because if you bring in a rookie quarterback, that quarterback is going to be lost with a whole new system with no weapons to throw to. And I don't see very many other quarterbacks on the market that are worth going after other than maybe Deshaun Watson. And I don't think Bill Belichick is super interested in Deshaun Watson. I just don't see Deshaun Watson being his type of quarterback, at least based on the money he's making right now. I think Deshaun Watson would be a good fit, but I just don't see Belichick making that move. So that's why I'm saying if I'm the New England Patriots, I would keep Cam Newton for at least another year. In the offseason, prioritize getting Cam Newton the best wide receiver and tight end core for him to be successful. Because when we saw Cam Newton several years ago, when he had a great team around him, he was able to go to a Super Bowl. Now, he's way past his prime. He's not the same athlete he once was. Doesn't quite have the same arm strength. But I do believe Cam Newton could be a functional starting quarterback that could lead you to the playoffs if given the right support. And I think New England should do Cam Newton a favor and bring him back and support him with good weapons. By the way, Bill Belichick has spoke very highly of Cam Newton, okay? A lot of people say Cam Newton's a diva. He's all about himself. According to Bill Belichick, that's not the case. So, for all those reasons, I keep Cam Newton in New England for at least one more year before I think about moving on and trying to acquire another quarterback. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.